なんとかなったみてえだな。畳みかける。これがスーパーサイヤ人3だ。
Alright, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. So Bardock's abilities are live. I don't really think I need to go into detail on what was mentioned in the previous video. Let us simply see how much pain or how much bliss we're going to see in the meta. Good old Bardock. Let's see. Tap into greater strength when allies are defeated. Legend Bardock joins the fight. Numero uno for his strengths. Undefeatable with the indestructible state. Once the sustained damage type unique gauge is fully charged from allies getting hit by enemies' arts, it switches to release type. While its release type, enter the indestructible state and continuously withstand attacks even when your health reaches 0. This statement here is a little worrying because this really does scream the yellow Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku setup. One thing that annoys me about that team is they just brutalize you with the sustainability. Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 is going to continuously heal and then stop you from hitting them. If you try to use a blue card, instant transmission away, and then 10% healing from the yellow Super Saiyan 4 Goku. That kind of thing aligns pretty well with what Bardock wants. Let him get hit. What do you care? Let him get hit. You're going to have all this healing to get him back up. And at the same time, you're going to be powering up Bardock's unique gauge, making it ready to be this indestructible state available unique gauge. I think they thought this through. I think that's what they're intending on you doing. Because now, if you're running a yellow-green team, the push for a powerful red legend just grows that much higher, and then that's when they could just pitch, hey, anniversary, or maybe it's a LOE character. Here we go, legend red, extra damage against Saiyans, and then everyone's like, I gotta summon for that guy. Number 2, huge buffs when allies are KO'd. Charge the unique gauge by 100% and get a 40% boost to damage. Special move. Special and ultimate arts also get additional effects per defeated ally. Number 3, easy to land special move arts via the legend action. Bardock can activate his legend action from the low area. If you activate one while an ally is defeated, draw a blue card. Steel your resolve, stand against fate, and strike with determination. Yellow plus Bardock. This is interesting. The first legend to not draw the necessary card to do their legend action. Mini Super Saiyan 3 Goku got his blue. Vegito got a blue. Pretty sure he also gets his ultimate too. I don't know. I don't really use Vegito. And then we know that for Piccolo, he gets his ultimate arts. Is Bardock the first guy where some set condition needs to happen to get the blue? We'll have to see in the remainder of the kit. Z ability looks to be double defense. But if you are Team Bardock, you provide 22% strike attack. This is the highest amount from a side effect Z ability, I think, right? Usually it caps out at 18, I think. So 22%. They did a small little push here. He has blast armor on his strikes. He gains damage guard penetration on activation. Oof. Holy cow. Some of you have been using the green Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegeta, and oftentimes we praise his damage despite the meta continuously moving forward. A big reason why his damage will still look impressive is damage guard penetration stacking. But Bardock is getting 20. Pretty sure Vegeta gets 10. That is insane. Stacking up damage guard penetration 20%, he will shred people. Blast arts, like the strike arts, gain damage guard penetration on activation, more tanking, disruption, killing. Blue card, get a 40% special move damage boost for each defeated battle member. Massive impact damage on activation, 50% blue card damage. Per defeated battle member, get another 40% blue card damage, which is uncancelable. So if you don't have an opponent that can debuff, and this is a last man standing Bardock, it is 130% blue card damage. I don't need to tell you, that hurts a lot. On hit, enemy Dragon Balls -1, very strong effect, pretty good. Melee-based blue card with blast armor. His green card, draw a card and get a 20% boost to damage inflicted for each defeated battle member. Draw a card, health plus 10%, 50 key, 20% damage, and nullify cover change. Is he the first legend? No, I think it was since Vegito, where the green card replenishes their cover nullification. I think Mini, Super Saiyan 3, and Piccolo have to change the area, but Vegito and Bardock can continuously stack cover null off the greens. Per defeated battle member, draw a card if your hand is 3 or fewer and get another 20% damage. That's kind of scary, man. Last man standing green card will give this man 60% damage inflicted 3 cards. Better be careful of Bardock. His ultimate, charge the unique gauge by 25% and raise crit damage by 15% for each defeated battle member. Supreme impact damage. On activation, 50% ult damage, nullify endurance. Per defeated battle member, unique gauge plus 25% and crit damage plus 15. This is going to be important because you probably want to maintain your unique gauge so you are permanently in this indestructible state. The one thing I'm curious about is how quickly does this thing drain? Because Bardock can't die, right? Indestructible state, he straight up cannot die while it's in the release type gauge. I can't imagine this thing lasting a long time, right? And this indestructible state is such a head scratcher for me because it kind of feels like it goes against the whole objective of the new design philosophy, doesn't it? If this indestructible state lasts a significant amount of time, you have to combo Bardock to buy time. You're going to have to waste it. You have to continuously beat him up so that you can drain this. Does this not go against what they wanted? They don't want long combos. So what's going on here? What's the objective? Why are we going against our design philosophy? Alright, main ability. If there are 2 defeated battle members, nullify element disadvantages and reduce the enemy's vanish gauge by 100%. Talk about fun. Taking away my vanish in a 1v1, you tricky bum. We already deal with some obnoxious kid who does that. Just draw a 1 card, then draw the ultimates next. I do like this. I often get confused when characters do not destroy a card to draw the ultimate. It kind of stinks. They go back and forth between who does and who doesn't. Whenever you revisit an older character, it catches you off guard. Heal 30%, key 50, cancel attribute downgrades under normal conditions, seal all enemy main abilities, buys you 10 timer counts to beat the crap out of the Gohan. If there are 2 defeated battle members, type neutral, 10 counts, uncancelable, pretty strong, and enemy vanish gauge minus 100% mundo. Boost the damage of other Bro. Yeah, boost the damage of other tag team Bardock or Goku characters. Yay! Like, what? They set it up so perfectly. Team Bardock or Goku. Listen, I understand, right? That's his damn dad. I get it. But you know what they're setting up. We both do. It's the full power Super Saiyan 4 and yellow Super Saiyan 4 Goku team. They want a mono yellow plus green setup. The writing is on the wall. That's what they're trying to push. Think about how difficult that's going to be to deal with. IT, all the healing. Remember that Super Saiyan 4 Goku gives 35% damage inflicted when he swaps out, now that he has this unique equip. Another 30%, courtesy of Bardock, with a ton of overlapping Zenkai buffs. Man, damn, Legends, jeez. Did they get the memo, man? That's kind of painful, what the hell? 340% damage, 290% damage guard, 70% key recovery, level 1 card draw speed, support for Team Bardock characters, or the character Goku. Unique ability, use a strike or a blast to draw a special arts and boost your crit rate? When you take a hit from enemy's arts attack or when there's an area change, get a boost to damage and increase arts cost for all enemies. Cut your opponent's combo short, then stage a counter attack. There's no way it's just me. This is a scary sentence. This paragraph is terrifying. What? On entry, draw a card if you have 3 or fewer, heal 15%, 40 ki, destroy a card. When you use a strike or blast, draw special arts. Man, that kind of sucks. That kind of stinks on a character that has an AoE green with no switching. Activations reset when an ally is defeated. Nullify cover change for 5 counts. Activation resets on switch. Crit rate plus 25% up to 50. I don't know what it is with Bardock characters and this crit rate thing. Have you noticed that? Every Bardock character, they're just like, crit, yeah, Bardock, crit rate. They just, for some reason, every single time, they just want to amplify this guy's crit rate. When hit by enemies' arts or on area change, get 30% damage. All enemies' arts cost plus 10. This is so powerful with yellow Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I'm not even kidding. A guy who takes away 15 ki every time he gets hit, and another guy that increases arts cost plus 10 every time he gets hit. And by the way, this is everybody. This isn't Legend Piccolo, where it's just the guy that's beating him up. This is everyone. You can't even swap to somebody else and increase their arts cost. I mean, Ultra Trunks is doing the same thing, and I'm sure you guys have felt it. You're like, oh damn, I can't maintain my combo. He did a good job of stopping me. Imagine that with 2 other characters. When an ally is defeated, unique gauge plus 100%, setting you up for the indestructible state. 40% damage and unique gauge charge rate plus 15%, feeding into all the other abilities to charge up his unique gauge, like the ultimate. While not defeated, and the enemy activates a blue ultimate awakened arts or rising rush, unique gauge plus 30%. My thinking is all of these unique gauge plus whatever percentage things feed into him going back into the indestructible state. So this kind of reads that Bardock can just go back to indestructible state and you throw him at it, right? Because we don't know how the unique gauge drains. We don't know if it gradually depletes while he's off the field and depletes faster when he's on the field. But if it gathers any percentage with a big move coming along the way, just throw Bardock at it. Again, I could be making some early assumptions because we never got to the point where they talk about it, but that's what it reads like to me. Ally subcount -3, perfect for the instant transmission, as well as the ultra full power Super Saiyan 4, and all enemy blue ultimate awakened arts power -30%. Praying somebody can survive the hit. Its cover change against blast, which is pretty good because full power Super Saiyan 4 is strike, changeable with the blue. Now the unique gauge. When the unique gauge becomes full, it switches to a release type, and you'll enter the indestructible state until the unique gauge reaches 0. You cannot be defeated while the unique gauge is release type. Okay, we start as damage type. We have 50% charge. When the unique gauge becomes full, switches to release type. Cancel attribute downgrades and normal conditions. Ally subcount -3. While release type, indestructible state. Get 70% damage. Nullify damage received element disadvantage. So he remains type neutral, and he nullifies abnormal conditions, which cannot be cancelled. When it reaches 0, it goes back to this sustained damage type. Health plus 20%. Fixed healing. Fixed healing. Interesting. Meaning 20% of Bardock's HP when the battle starts will forever be the amount that he will heal when the unique gauge switches back to damage type. So Trunks, with his reduced healing, I think his healing cap will still apply to this. So if Bardock's health is at, say, 70% and we get this 20% healing, I'm using rough numbers, it'll stay at 80%. It won't push past that. But all those effects, like the Merge Zamasu reducing the amount of healing, or say, I can't think of any other example of a character that reduces healing on arts card hit, like the green Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I believe. Those characters cannot hurt this. So Bardock will permanently heal that 20%. And it makes sense too, because Bardock in the indestructible state is going to be the guy you keep on the field to take all the punches. He's going to be the punching bag. If a character that reduces the healing were to show up, and then Bardock's health just automatically stays at 0 because he can't heal due to the reduced healing effects of characters that reduce it, it would kind of be useless. So this is their way of mitigating that. My guess is when your character is in the release type gauge, his health can go to 1. He just can't die. But as you maintain the combo, if your opponent is not smart, he will die within that combo. But the unique gauge will switch and you will see a burst of 20% healing that cannot be reduced by any means possible so that Bardock doesn't get snuffed out in one hit. But he does get 50% damage. The damage type unique gauge will charge slightly when he's hit, and when other allies are hit, it decreases only when he's on the field. Okay, that's a very strong ability. This, though, is when other ally is hit by the arts, and when he himself is hit by the arts. Yeah, I'm sorry, but so much of this just screams that green and yellow setup. No? So much of it screams that. I hope that there's an indication to show that your unique gauge is in the release type, because sometimes you might get misled, right? You think your unique gauge is at 65%. Your opponent uses a big move or a rising rush, and you decide to throw Bardock at the fight. Oh crap, my gauge isn't release type. It's only at 95%, and he dies. I hope they provide some clear visual for that. But okay. I see how it works. Very, 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 very strong ability. You're probably going to want... No, this definitely sets up something interesting. His legend action activates in the low area. On action, you get 50 ki and cancel enemy buff effects. Should there be a defeated battle member, you'll draw a blue. Fair enough, Bardock, fair enough. He looks like a strong character, per the usual. I mean, every time a new character comes out, they look strong. Is this character... Okay, the confusing thing, or the key thing for me, is going to be how this gauge is going to interact with the meta, right? It kind of feels like we're in a timer count meta. I mean, again, the yellow-green team just feels like it doesn't die. Sun Family plus Vegito honestly has some pretty good sustainability, so it does feel like a lot of throws are exchanged. It's really going to boil down to how often you feel comfortable throwing Bardock at big moves with the indestructible state, right? Slightly, I don't know if that means 5% or not. If it's 5%, that's 20 cards. How many characters will live 20 cards? I don't know. For all we know, this is all a nothing burger, and the indestructible state only happens once, and is not really that big of an issue, because that means it's akin to characters that have an endurance or revival, which we've all dealt with already. So maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's not that bad. But we will have to see. We will have to see. It all comes down to indestructible state. Otherwise, Bardock just looks like your standard strong character. He looks strong. He's got some support, really good multipliers here. He's stacking damage cut penetration, which I argue is just one of the strongest abilities that age in this game. Like, it ages beautifully. You know, the yellow Gogeta Blue that got a Zenkai Awakening, his main ability has minus 100% sustained damage cut penetration. That kind of thing still hurts because that is a lot of defensive measures stripped away from a character. So 20% on stack is very strong. Yeah, I don't know. This is good disrupt paired alongside allies around him. The unique gauge charge rate stuff doesn't look too bad. Like, if an ally is defeated, 15% increase, so you can go back into that indestructible state. I don't know, it's tricky. It's tricky because reading a character's kit individually on paper is one thing, but how these characters interact with others, both in terms of the damage that they deal, the damage that they take, and their abilities, and how it ties in with like instant transmission, disrupt after 3 hits, healing 25% when I show up, subcount manipulation when I do this. You know, my opponent constantly has to swap because I reduce ki. It's sometimes tricky to paint that picture, but for me, everybody is going to be eyeing this. How often can I hinge on Bardock's key niche ability, which is indestructible state? If this is something that you find thrown out there quite often, then Bardock could really just scream as like, holy crap, he's a top 5 character. Yellow Plus is so strong against Vegito, who loses some stoinks. Buhan gets some more stoinks because he's red right now, like our modern, powerful red character. things move a lot every release. It just is a matter of how we feel it out in the meta. If you're somebody that's eyeing to summon for Bardock, I plead that you hesitate, only because Anniversary is really so close. It is so close. I don't know. How hard do they plan on pushing the needle? I don't know. Do they plan on absolute stupendous hype characters that shift everything? I don't know. So does Bardock scream as a must-run character? I don't know. What are some of the mainstay character teams that you see? It's mostly Sun Family plus Vegito and you know, maybe hybrids with the Ultra Trunks or the yellow green team. Try to imagine, does Bardock somehow squeeze his way in any of these teams? Does he change anything? Would you use Ultra Namek Goku over Bardock because of the KO guard, or would you use Bardock because of the indestructible state? Those are things we can only answer once he comes out and test them out a bit. But he looks strong, feels strong. I guess Purple Plus characters got to watch out. But you let me know in the comment section below what you think about this character's kit. Are you looking forward to fighting some more mono yellow teams? But until next time, peace.